Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I want to state some few things here. Mr. Speaker, today I'm just here for certain deliberations. There was a question yesterday why Raila Odinga has gone to China with William Samoei Arap Ruto, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know very well that maybe I normally talk history before I jog your mind to the current, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, while you are walking around Africa, you will understand that where the Chinese are, the most populated country with Chinese origin is South Africa. A lot of people may ask, why is this happening? The first interaction which has been recorded here and can be referred is in 15th century. That the explorer called Zeng came to Africa to see Africa and the land beyond, Mr. Speaker. After the exploration, Mr. Speaker, the Chinese came back in 20th century. Their sole function, they came as laborers. And they were working for colonies in Africa so that they build maybe roads or other things. But most of them went back, Mr. Speaker. But it is the only one country in Africa, which is called South Africa, that Chinese, most of them remained there. But other countries, Chinese left for their country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there is something called open door policy, which was introduced by Mao. The Mao strategy, he knew that going forward, the capitalistic nations will be interfering with their affairs at the East, Mr. Speaker. So this individual ensured that he started a serious trading partnership around the world, Africa included. And you will ask yourself, Mr. Speaker, why is it that presidents around Africa, they are going to China?
Yeah.
This is a strategy which Mao put in place in 1978. So coming to 2000, when Chinese started now to come back to Africa, building roads, staying around, and doing a lot of projects in countries in Africa, Mr. Speaker, this is now the baseline. This is now the baseline that Chinese realize that the IMF, the World Bank, and the Western nations, they give you loans, but again they are following you. What are you doing with that loan? And they now controlling you. And those are few interference that we have encountered in this country, where we allowed people like IMF to loan us money in Kenya. Those are why Kibaki in 2003, we chose to go east. And Chinese gave us an opportunity to loan us and to build something which you can see. Not stories where the West were bringing here without any tangible evidence that this is the development from America, this is the development from Europe or any other country. Mr. Speaker, we must state very clear that today, Kenya signed Asia Infrastructure Investment with the Asia Infrastructure Investment Bank, the cooperation between 106 countries, and Kenya is now one of those countries. And the investment bank will be assisting African countries to build infrastructure.
On the same today.
They have signed it today at around 11 o'clock Kenyan time. That's when they signed it. So, Mr. Speaker, what I want to remind the people who are here, what China has done for the last maybe 50 or 70 years, I think Kenya, if given opportunity, with people, and yesterday I was reading something, Mr. Speaker, here. And the Constitution of Kenya, if we cannot follow it in full and implement it fully, then we should disband it altogether. And for Kenya to be even more than China, for Kenya to be even more than Singapore, we must check the mental capacity of voters, Mr. Speaker. And the Constitution is clear on that.
You as a voter.
You as a voter. Mr. Speaker, and I want to repeat for the record, Mr. Speaker, just for the record. The article, and I'm reading it for the second time, and this for the last time, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah.
The registration as a voter in Kenya, that is Article 83 of the Constitution. Article 83(1) states, 1A states that you must be an adult. For an evidence that you are an adult, you must hold an identity card that you are a Kenyan. You must have a passport. And to get that passport, you must present your ID. That now means you are an adult. But the IBC, the Parliament of Kenya, and the government are failing to implement the Constitution fully. What are they not implementing? They are not now following the B part. It's not declared to be an sound mind. These people, you go to IBC booth, you want to register as a voter. The fellow usually ask for you an ID, but they must ask for an evidence from a recognized doctor that you are normal, Mr. Speaker, for you to register as a voter. Because we need a normal people, because abnormal people, as sisters, there are many. So they vote for wrong leaders, and that's why the interference.
Mr. Speaker, hapana bwana.
So there are abnormal people here. Some of them are looking at it.
No, Mr. Speaker, no. Withdraw that statement. Mr. Speaker, withdraw.
Mr. Speaker, I final. Order. I beat people. So, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker, we are abnormal. Yeah.
Mr. I've said some of them. If you are one of them, I'm sorry. I think the Madare mental hospital should be expanded, and a lot of per county, 2 or 3 per county, so that most of these people should go and be checked, or not most, everyone go and be checked whether they are normal or abnormal. Then you are given a card that you have been satisfied that you are normal and you are an adult. Now unaenda kwa ABC unasema sasa I want to be a voter. So that we don't get a tyranny of numbers that are abnormal, Mr. Speaker. and Mr. Speaker, I'm finalizing this.
Hey.
Before even we blame William Ruto, before even we blame any individual in the government, we must check on the mental capacity of those who are putting them in power. Yes, Mr. Speaker. Because I'm looking sometimes during an electioneering period, you listen on how individual is reasoning on question of economy of this republic. But you're wondering, because there are many, and you don't want to tell them the truth that they are stupid, you just keep quiet. Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, as bunge la mwananchi, and the people must come out, and this thing must be an act of parliament. That the first evidence that you should be a voter is that you are normal. And you cannot just tell me that you are normal, but you are telling me what you cannot be justifiable.
Speaker,
on question of economy, on question of credit.
Speaker, me, I have a question.
I'm finalizing before those concerns.
I have a question. Lazima chukue, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker,
Some is using the constitution to justify unsoundness. Why can you use the same constitution to justify normality?
What are you saying?
Obiero.
What are you saying? Mr. Speaker is using us, is trying to put Mr. Speaker. It is a concern that Mr. Speaker, who is normal and there's a point and a letter. Mr. Speaker, some is using the position selective. He's not interpreting the way it's supposed to be. He was to tell us, how to identify this person who is unsound.
Speaker.
And how also to look for the normality of this person. You cannot just use the constitution. On the other hand, is supporting the normality. On the other hand, is also rejecting abnormality. So why are you actually directing us?
So what are you saying?
You are speaking in from both sides, Mr. Speaker. In one side, you are supporting normality. On the other side, he's also talking about abnormality, Mr. Speaker. So he's speaking from both sides. Even from your analysis, Sam is speaking from both sides.
Of his mouth.
Yes, he's not categorical.
Thank you.
Yes.
Speaker, even me, my question. Hey.
Mr. Speaker,
To someone to
member of parliament. I heard that member of parliament is saying when a voter have registered, someone has registered as a voter, the first thing we must do before election, we should take him or her to Madari
On a mental check.
For a mental check. But what I can tell member on the floor, during campaign period, we are looking for a candidate who is serving a convincing manifesto. When your manifesto are not convincing, even a normal person will not vote for you. Will not vote for you. So, yeah, we are following the manifesto. Let me tell you. During campaign period, Ruto really tell people big promises, true or false? Big promises. But the problem is action. Ruto is not acting. When Baba was campaigning, Baba told us we have 6K for those who are for normal Kenyans. True or false?
True.
So those who followed manifesto of William Samoei Ruto, which were convincing to them, are the people who voted for the president. If we leave out, sijui IBC wamefanya nini, Chebukati nini, I think that's the thing.
Even some should not lie for us.
Okay, member.
Speaker,
this is the end of this nonsense. So let's go to other matters.
Really?
Number one,